Hello, I'm Annabella Coldrick, Chief Executive of the Music Managers Forum. We're an organisation representing over 1,000 music managers.
My name is David Martin, the CEO of the Featured Artists Coalition. We are the UK organisation that represents the artist voice.
The dynamic between artists and managers has always been unique. It's the partnership around which the entire music industry revolves.
For the past 9 years, our organisations have come together for the annual Artist and Manager Awards to celebrate that teamwork and to recognise the successes of those who have made their mark over the preceding year.
So, whilst we couldn't host the Artist and Manager Awards in 2020, we decided instead to make this film, partly as a snapshot of the unique and challenging year, but most importantly, as recognition of the incredible relationship between artists and managers and a celebration of what they can achieve together.
You're about to hear from some incredible artist-manager teams, entrepreneurs and innovators who have all shown great ambition, resilience and creativity over the past 12 months. These individuals and organisations embody the spirit of the Artist and Manager Awards, and we're very proud to be sharing their journeys through this film.
I think the idea, as you say, of like catching up in a place like this with the water and the birds, because usually we're just on the fly.
It's luxurious, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
Sometimes you're doing social media strategy or marketing strategy on the Northern Line or like on the motorway.
Yeah, it's the motorway in the car, isn't it?
So it's quite special to be in a place like this. Didn't I meet you in a park as well when you were like 17?
Yeah.
We walked around the park with a coffee.
Walked around the park, yeah. My mum like walked me to it and I was like, it's fine, Mum, you can leave now.
Did she drop
we were like
you off?
puffering around. Yeah.
I remember the first thing I said to you. I said, Arlo, I'm always going to be honest. Because that's respect, right?
Honesty is respect. The manager and that closer team, as you said, that close circle around you, you want it to feel like a family, and like family can like tell each other anything and will be honest. Like, because imagine you were just like, oh yeah, no, that song's great. There's old demos. You're like, yeah, that's the album. Absolutely.
There's old photos. There's old photo shoots.
I go record shopping probably like every month or so. I just have like a big splurge.
I think it's the best thing to buy you.
Books and records.
Oh yeah, it's like you can introduce people to things that completely
change their world.
Yeah. King Cruel.
Hey!
It's like,
this is the one. This is the one that kind of started it for me. You know when you hear a record when you're like 13?
Literally, when I met you, all you talk about was King Cruel.
King Cruel. Boom. Big Thief. I just think her lyrics are insane. Because she inspired me actually to like start writing about flowers and like nature.
When I started out in management, what was going to be my point of difference to other managers, and because I came from a creative background, it was a sense of like that was going to be my edge and really push that through. And it's so nice that when we met you, you cared about that. You really kind of were open to that creative journey. What's the strangest fan that you feel that you've got?
Michelle Obama, 100%.
That was weird.
Billie Eilish as well. Like, just because obviously she is like the artist of the moment, and just because of like what she's done for pop music.
2020 has been problematic to say the least.
Yeah, it was difficult. I think especially because we had this very set plan.
You know, I remember that when I told you we had to like cancel 36, 37 festivals.
Hayley Williams in the States, South by. But then we just got back up, wrote the album, like kept moving.
That's probably been the silver lining, right? That you got to write your debut record and have the time. And now we've got this record that's like incredible.
I had that fear of like, are things gonna get stagnant is this project not going to grow? How are we going to connect to fans? How am I going to make sure I'm still collaborating and connecting with artists?
Like many creatives, there's an entrepreneurial spirit, and you've adapted to the situation and go, okay, we become content managers, we become content creators, keeping your music relevant to as many people as possible. So when it does open up next year, and it will,
we're ready. I think it's beautiful to be sat here together as well, because, you know, people outside of the music industry don't realise how hard you work and how big a part of this success you are. And, you know, it'll be everything from coming with me to meetings to, you know, bouncing demos off of to, you know, helping with the creative.
It's a real honour to work with musicians and have a big part to play in building their careers. Where you started off and it was just two of us, to now having a team of 60 people internationally.
And what are the highlights for you in terms of like those moments where you were like, damn?
Yeah, BBC Sound Poll was an incredible achievement.
And also the first like 1 million streams.
Yeah.
Because that always felt like 1 million just felt like the biggest deal. And I remember for so long it was like 50 streams.
Nothing beats for me like seeing you perform live. So going from a dusty little venue, East London, where it was questionable, then seeing you sell out your first UK and European tour, and standing side the stage, and it feels like, okay, she's landed. She owns that space. She has now become Arlo Park.
With the shutdown of live music, many artists and managers lost their income overnight. Too many have fallen through the gaps in support. Our organisations have been fighting hard for them. Charities like Help Musicians and PRS Foundation have stepped in to support artists. The MMF launched our own rebuild fund for managers with contributions from PPL and others, and continued our accelerator programme for emerging management talent supported by YouTube Music. This support has enabled many in our sector to stay afloat.
Yeah, there's always been a special thing about Manchester, man, like the Hacienda and Oasis and Joy Division. Being able to kind of step into those shoes.
It's no secret. It's hard work. 3 individuals that saw something in a city other people wasn't seeing and pulled our socks up and got things done.
Well, they see me in my bag. Yeah, I'm up, now they only wanna flag. Yeah, everybody saying okay. Yeah.
I think when we first started, there was nothing going on at a larger scale, so it was good to see at the time how the community was kind of starting to get together. Said that stage and radio.
That was like the best place to go to see all the underground stuff. Because when we came up with the idea, yes, yo, that it's been right in our faces, management, because we can't have a show with stars from Manchester without stars, you know what I mean?
Yeah, stage and radio, man.
I guess this is where it all started, isn't it?
Yeah, this is where the first crew got hired, isn't it? It was literally out here. I think we were just like, yeah, we think we're gonna chat to H. Let's bring him out here.
Yeah, it was that.
Yeah, it was literally, there was always something about him, but it was a weird thing because I always used to say like, oh, I don't know what I'll do with him. And I always usually had like some sort of idea or plan with everything, but I think he was just something, just seeing him here, you know, this is such an important place as well, just being able to, you know, see talent up and close is so important nowadays because it doesn't happen much.
Yeah. Jump in a 4.5 and fill it up, pull up out and fill it up. My boy tried to test, but the prick weren't big enough. Man won't dip him, I'll dig him up.
First office.
Imagine the size of my uni room.
Yeah, bigger than your uni room. Yeah.
What do we look for in an artist?
They've got to be hardworking.
And you can't want it more than the artist that you're working for.
I think what we learned over the 3 years as well is their personality. It's got to shine. See, a good example of that is H. Look how he is on socials. That jump from 5K to 1 million in under a year is crazy.
I don't know whether it's a northern thing, because we haven't been kind of given this and we had to go out and earn it. We've just respected our situation and the industry that we're in a bit more.
Yeah, it's always been part of the culture not to take things for granted.
With this container, no one really looking at us. too tough.
It is a big step, you know, going from such a small container to like a big building, you know. Yeah, it just shows the ambition. Really. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff in the pipeline that hopefully will make an impact for years to come. It's crazy, isn't it? This is the new spot, man.
Look where we were like 3 years ago.
Yeah, in your little bedroom. You know, there's a lot of plans with the place where we're standing now to kind of be a creative space, to kind of bring that culture of excellence within the city so that people around it and people in it can feel like it's possible. All the kind of main things happening have always happened in London, and if you didn't know someone who knew someone, it's very difficult to even think it's possible. You know, with us kind of being from a place where predominantly there isn't many opportunities in this kind of field that we're excelling in, it was always important for us to invest within the city with a building like this and lend our hand to giving other people legs up. But it's just the start, man.
It's just a big move for Manchester in itself, for the music scene, for the UK music scene.
I think management is a very up and down job, and there isn't a blueprint to management, I guess. It's about being able to understand your artists and being able to help them and grow them. Outside of that, it's just about studying the game you're in and being able to then utilise your knowledge to make better decisions and help navigate the artist's career depending on what they want to achieve. Yeah, COVID's been a tough one, isn't it? Yeah.
That was a very strange thing though, obviously. From last year doing a lot of live shows, I remember nearly every weekend we was in a different city, you know, or even a different country, should we say, so.
Because obviously we did lose a lot of income from the live shows as well, and it kind of impacted us on that way. But, you know, the last 2-3 years have been manic, and, you know, we've not really had time to really process it all and slow down, and even catching up with family members and things like that has been a positive in that sense. Hopefully going into 2021, that will stand us in good stead where we can kind of attack the year just in a more focused manner.
We just started this off by just us loving music. Like, I think all of us can say that we just love music, and this is the reason why we do it.
You have to reflect, obviously, and appreciate how far you've come, but you know, the work is what really matters, man, and that's more fulfilling than anything. You know, being able to see what we've done in the last 3 years and the way it's up to now, it's like, it's fulfilling, but we've not got to where we want to get yet, man. So it's always something nice being recognised, but it's just the start, man. I think we're aiming for bigger and better, and we want to definitely achieve a lot more, and yeah, man.
Just get to the next level.
Yeah, get to the next level, man. That's the main thing.
2020 was incredibly challenging. Artists and managers have also shown unbelievable resilience and innovation.
Our lives may have been reconfigured through lockdown, activity may have been pushed online into new formats like live streams, but throughout, artists have continued to be creative and engaged with their fans.
So come on then, Ruth. We have been awarded this Innovation Award. I feel a little bit of a charlatan, to be honest with you, when it comes to this word innovation, because of course Driift can't claim to own live streaming.
No, not at all.
But we're owning our little space in it. And I think we're doing it in a very different way to anybody else. We, as an industry, have had to face one of its darkest times in its history. And speaking as a manager, we've actually been able to navigate it really, really well. Driift was born out of the huge turmoil, obviously, that the music industry went through. Like everybody, we were observing the early days of lockdown and how hundreds of artists were live streaming from home. And we had dozens of artists that were either on tour or about to go on tour, and all of those tours had to be cancelled. How do you fund it? And then we thought, well, why don't we try selling tickets?
Yeah.
But we didn't have a clue what we were doing, and we had no idea how many tickets we'd sell.
Creating this company has been absolutely amazing.
The team that we built at Driift is incredible. There's about 13 or 14 of us now, which is amazing to have built a business during this pandemic. It has been phenomenal to be a part of some of these shows and to work with the best management companies, some of the best label people, some of the best artists on the planet, the best directors, the best production teams. This has been a silver lining without a doubt, and to be a part of something, you know, positive, exciting and creative, getting people back to work, feeding some money back into the music economy.
I think the music industry is nothing without collaborations.
Yeah.
You know, this is one of those formats where I think that collaboration really shines through. Everyone's just thinking that this is just for the pandemic. The idea that artists can reach so many people in one activity is absolutely thrilling.
I want to hear you singing. I need every one of you. Come on. These are right, these are right.
And for that reason, I don't think it's going to go away. Some of the shows that you've done, that bloody Biffy Clyro show from Barrowlands,
unbelievable.
it was amazing. And what was so incredible, actually, to have a rock band in an empty venue, and how are you going to communicate that this is a really exciting show? And I swear, within 20 minutes, it felt like I was in a bloody arena.
Fine for a solo artist, but can this work for a rock band? Can it work for a pop band? Can it work for a full band? And then very quickly, of course, we did the Dermot Kennedy show from Natural History Museum, which was just...
with the heartthrob, Paul Mescal.
Yeah.
But having him, it was another narrative around a show, you know. And obviously, it was in an amazing venue, because obviously Union Chapel, Ali Pali, Barrowlands. You've even done one in the Globe, haven't you, with James Bay?
Now you don't have to wear your best fake smile. Don't have to stand there and burn inside.
I think the whole thing gives an artist an opportunity to tell a story.
One of the things that we talked about quite early on is what happens when the audience would normally applaud.
Yeah.
You know, and obviously with Laura, you stage managed it quite well, that she would move to a different place, or someone would hand her a different guitar, but there'd be like a silence, but a space. I mean, the biggest success so far has been Niall Horan from Royal Albert Hall.
These slow hands, like sweat dripping down.
Working with the guys at Modest, his management company, they're world-class, those guys. Niall is an absolute joy to work with.
On the same night, you went live with Kylie. Kylie's show creatively was very, very different to the others. It was the long-form music video, like a disco party.
You know, those two shows sold over 160,000 tickets between the two of them. I think our proudest moment was that number of 151 countries that Niall's show sold tickets in. Just simply this notion that you can legitimately present live music to fans in literally all corners of the world.
Yeah. What do you think Driift looks like in a year's time?
The kind of the support and the positivity that we feel day in, day out from traditional promoters, agents, labels, managers, artists, feels already that people just have accepted that this is a really exciting new format. You know, you and Martin have been amazing, perfect partners for what we're doing. The only reason Brian, my business partner, Brian Message, isn't here is because we weren't allowed three of us on the sofa. But what an amazing man he is, a great mate and a great partner. And then each and every one of the team at Driift who have worked massively, tirelessly. It's been amazing, and thank you to each and every one of you guys.
Like us, I know the MMF has seen a surge in membership, and the FAC has also welcomed a whole wave of artist ambassadors into the organisation. It was our members at the forefront of important, impactful campaigns like Let the Music Play, which received global recognition.
For me, I think our greatest accomplishment is that the fact that we're still here and we managed to have a 25, 30-year career out of all of this.
Absolutely.
I mean, I think that is the most difficult thing that any band can do, is to maintain success and keep it going.
What is the greatest accomplishment is definitely that I get up every morning and I still really enjoy what I do. I love working with Skin. I love working with the boys. And I'm still there fighting the good fight with Skunk Anansi. That's very cool.
COVID has really impacted us. This is the first time in 30 years that longest time I haven't seen you.
Yeah.
And what was it, 7 months?
It was ages. It was from February to...
From February to now.
Now, yeah.
Yeah, till this week. Mm. And that's the longest I haven't seen Lee in 30 years, you know. It's actually
by a long way.
By a long way, yeah. I mean, and for me, what makes a great manager is really listening to the artist, understanding the artist and making it happen and having the skills to actually make that happen in a way that keeps that artist happy with what they're doing. I also, I think it's important as a manager to have that artist be successful within that. Because if we're not successful and we're not able to earn a living, we just can't keep it going. So first and foremost is recognizing the talent and understanding that talent and then nurturing it and making it grow in a way that is gonna make everybody happy. Because at the end of the day,
why else are you doing it?
We just want to be happy. I don't want to be a singer and be unhappy and just hate the music that I'm doing.
So I suppose for me, it was just a case of just knowing that I had this diamond in my hand and making sure that when everyone else saw it, they realised that we had a diamond as well. And I always remember we talked a lot at the very early days about you understanding your way around a studio. I'd been in a lot of recording studios, I'd seen it at the time. It was a very male-dominated room. It was a very male-dominated space to be in, and women really didn't have, it was not like it is now. Women didn't have the same kind of, they weren't listened to in the same way that they would be now. And I always wanted Skin to be able to say to an engineer or say to someone in the room, yeah, you can get my voice to sound like this, or actually that guitar sound isn't what I want, and you can get the guitar sound and know how to do it. I never knew how to do it, but I always wanted to make sure that Skin did. And the reason for that was because I knew that she'd be more comfortable if she was in a room where she could command the respect of the room, and she has and does. It is really, it's very important for me. I remember the early days of the MMF. When I first started managing bands, managers didn't talk to each other at all. There wasn't a community of managers, and the MMF have done a remarkable job of, making that happen. And I think that's a really good thing. I know now I've got a group of gal managers who we all talk to each other, and we're all like friends. There's like 5 of us and we'll get together regularly, but it's a result of really the MMF sort of putting managers together. And I think for artists it's really important because they share knowledge, so you can understand from other managers what they're going through, and I think that's been brilliant actually.
What does this award mean to me? It really does mean a lot, because Skunk and Etsy and myself, and especially Lee, have been one of the most successful bands, and Lee's one of the most successful managers. But I think that our story's kind of been pushed to the side in many ways by the kind of establishment, by press and whatever. So it's really important, because I think that it just reminds us of what an amazing journey we've been. And for me, I just love the fact that Lee's getting recognised, because I think that those are the people that don't get recognised a lot. And what the major thing why Skunk and Etsy are successful is because we had Lee as a manager, and she did a really fucking good job.
Thank you.
And I think that female managers in particular just do not get the recognition and do not get to lift the awards and get that pride and joy from those moments. And I think after 25 years, and to still be here and still be planning stuff and still being successful and being able to sit here and talk about this in this way, that's massive. That's absolutely massive. We haven't really had much kind of recognition in our career, really, have we? So
lately it's definitely, obviously it's yours, but that has got better, definitely.
It's got a bit better this year. And I think the thing about it is, like, Lee is one of the most important people to me, and she's like one of my bestest friends and mates. And so this is the first time we've actually sat next to each other and discussed each other in our whole career.
Yeah, this is the first.
This is the first, yeah. And that's crazy. So for me, it's lovely to be able to have a chance to big up my sis, and just watch you get the recognition that you absolutely deserve.
And you, darling.
Thanks. High five.
We do a little thing. We do a dance of joy when something really good happens. We secretly
dance of joy.
We do a dance of joy. Like, okay, dance of joy.
Yeah. Dance of joy for this one.
We look to the future with optimism that our vibrant music industry will return to normality and that our sector will continue to thrive.
Of course, we haven't been able to do this alone. We'd like to give a huge shout out to our sponsors, PPL, Songtrust, Spotify and YouTube Music for making this film possible.
I remember getting an email with the introductory from Barclay, the lawyer, saying, would you like to listen to Michael Kiwanuka and his songs? And I just remember melting in my chair, headphones on, just literally listened to it 6, 7, 8 times. And I just knew that my partners, Mark and Dave, and the whole team around me would absolutely love this, and was just freaking out because there's no way I could find you. I don't know where you are. Left a message on MySpace. And I was so determined, thinking, this is golden. That was the first encounter I had, and we were blown away.
So I started really more as a guitar player, and I love music, but I didn't have the guts to be an artist. I knew I wanted to make music, but I didn't care that much about being like in the center of the room and famous or whatever. And then MySpace came, and I just dropped out of uni playing jazz guitar. So I thought, being a music teacher, teaching guitar, that's when I made the MySpace, because I thought it would be fun to just do my own songs, just to keep the creativity going for fun with my friends. It was a secret though, because no one had heard me sing of my friendship groups, and thank God I made the page, because then, you know, Barclay discovered it, and then that's how I met you.
Yeah. I remember Dave, one of the Starwood partners, got to see you in North London and was reporting back that it was exactly the magic that you hear on the MySpace tapes, recordings, and him saying, we've got to do this, we've got to work with this guy. We met a few times.
We did. Whole Foods, I remember one.
Yeah. And I remember coming to Whole Foods, and we spoke about music all of the time, rather than strategy, business, I know with them.
Well, you probably never heard about that. At that meeting, I remember, this was a time of Blackberries. And everyone's talking to me, but at the same time, they were on a Blackberry. And they were talking, but they were also like doing the emails. And I was like, this is rubbish. And then when we went to Whole Foods, you guys had like Nokias. I was thinking, these guys must be good then. I know that you had contacts, but I mean, I don't really know what that means. So I had to base it on how I felt, and it was the Nokias and the music chat.
It's like coming up to our 11th anniversary.
It's interesting talking about relationships between artist and manager. An artist, their managers is a hub, is a cell, and then how that the label comes in with that and looks after the music.
We can't second guess your darkest thoughts on the pillow at home when you're falling asleep. All we can do is try and stimulate and present conversation, something that you have to keep on maturing into in manager-artist relationship. COVID was a huge challenge of like, well, let's not drop our heads. Let's turn this into a positive. Everybody was kind of doing their homework, going, this is not going away. You know, it allowed us to put music out. It allowed us to make lots of great film content and use the internet and grow your social media story. And then we topped that with a cherry on top, which is a Grammy nomination, which is amazing.
Very
Again,
exciting.
that's all supported during COVID. You were not shy of building a fan base way before streaming was in. How do you show the world that this is happening? You know, and so touring was really important.
You got me touring with Adele.
Yeah.
When we were out an EP.
Just like before everything and anything. Yeah. No tour managers, no nothing, just a mate to help with the driving.
Yeah. And then I walk into the venue and I'm hearing Adele sing Rolling in the Deep, and I'm thinking, what am I doing here? What the hell? And I'm thinking, damn, I've got to sing after that. It was one of the best things I've ever had.
It was rootsy tour.
Oh man,
even for Adele.
But do you remember we got to Hamburg? You were like, we got to do a video. It's like a video, and then I'm like, I don't want to do a video. And obviously at that point, I'm thinking, I love music, I want to write songs, but I never want to be in a music video. And I remember I was so annoyed that I had to do this video. I had to go and do some filming with this German director. And we just walk around Hamburg and then Berlin the next day.
Yeah.
And it turns out to be one of my favorite videos I've ever done. It was like I was handed a golden ticket.
We got records played on radio.
We did.
And the revolution was working, you know.
Yeah. The third album, for me, in an artist's career, I think quite important. And I'd found a great team in the studio in Danger Mouse and Inflow, which for me is like gold dust.
This album has brought challenges of COVID, but actually has been acknowledged by the Mercury Prize.
Mind blowing.
Michael Kiwanuka for his album Kiwanuka!
Part of me was like, it had to be this year. We couldn't go to any ceremonies, couldn't do
these tours, like from this album, some of the biggest dates we had live.
We had it all
Ali
lined
Pali,
up, yeah.
And then the Mercuries out of nowhere, that dream of being at Ceremony, like going up and picking up the award after all of that would have been satisfying. The Mercury Award is for me, for 2020, I mean, it's the biggest.
In the knowledge that we knew that you'd won your Mercury, is to send you up to London to do some promo as part of the nominees, you know, or the other
last three.
The other, you know, you're one of many artists that have to be with Jules Holland in the last 5, you know.
I know that you're about to be interviewed by Jules, and he's waiting for you. He's ready for you, but I just wanted to tell you something. Yeah. You are the overall winner of the 2020 Mercury Prize. Congratulations!
I don't even know what to say, man.
I'm glad you did that, because otherwise it would have ruined it. I love that I was surprised. I always wanted to do a Hootenanny. Did a Hootenanny 2020. I used to watch the Hootenanny every New Year. That was fun to do that.
Yeah. To have someone kind of go, we think it's award-winning is always better, because we think it's award-winning from the day we met, and it's always great for someone else to give you a big pat on the back. Very, very blessed from the MMF and all the people that voted for us, so thank you for that.
Yeah, man. I feel really proud, because there's something extra special about doing something amazing with your team, with your people, and this award represents that, man, 100%, because we did it together. Yeah. And it's always like, now I'm always like, just find a really good team.
Yeah, it's true.
That's it.
Congratulations to all our award winners.